the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2, in conjunction with Colfax High School, presents Viking Pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings boys game. And now, Viking Pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN2 studios and tonight's boys Colfax Viking basketball game. Rick Olson here, and today the 8-11 Colfax Vikings, who are 6-5 in the Dunn-St. Croix, are getting ready to take on the 9-8 Glenwood City Hilltoppers, who sport a 5-6 record in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference. The Vikings want to continue to build on their recent successes, including their 54-38 win over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves on Thursday, while the Hilltoppers would like to bounce back following their 62-54 loss at the hands of the Elk Mound Mounders on Friday. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Glenwood City Hilltoppers and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Height's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, we'll take a quick look around the Dunn-St. Croix Conference to see where the conference stands as we begin the final 2 weeks of the regular season. Finally, our broadcast crew will bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's conference game between the Hilltoppers and the Vikings. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school boys basketball. All that coming right up after this brief timeout as you're tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN2.
My dad was a farmer. The guy was bigger than life. He wasn't someone that liked to show his emotion or liked to show when he was struggling, but we all struggle. I want to show emotion to my kids. It's something that brings me so much joy, and I want them to see me working through things. Allow your kids to know that it's okay to struggle, that even dad doesn't know the answer sometimes, but we're going to figure it out together.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame as we're getting ready to bring you all the action of today's Dunn-St. Croix Conference matchup between the Colfax Vikings, who are sitting at 8-11 overall and 6-5 in the conference, and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers, who are currently riding at 5-6 in the conference play, as well as 9-8 overall. Now, the Vikings are coming into this game following a 54-38 win over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves on Thursday night, while the Hilltoppers were defeated by the Elk Mound Mounders 62-54 on Friday. Now, in that victory over the Wolves, the Vikings again found a way to get off to a fast start and held off the Wolves each time they tried to climb back into the game. Leading the way for the Vikings in that effort was 6-foot senior Aiden Fisher, who scored on 6 field goals and went 5 for 7 from the free throw line for 17 points.
Down on the baseline to Schwartz, out on top to Fisher. Fisher gets the pass, makes a move, goes up and in. 9-6 Colfax.
Fisher was followed by 5'11 junior Orion Nichols, who canned 6 field goals, with 3 being of the three-point variety for 15 points.
It's out to Orion Nichols, three-pointer goes!
6'5 freshman Russell Pekowski also contributed 11 points with 4 field goals, one of which was a three-pointer, and went 2 for 2 from the charity stripe.
Charbonneau down inside to Polkowski, too hard, gets his own rebound, around and down for 2. 4-0 Colfax.
6'6 junior Logan Schwartz had one of his better nights of the season, adding another 10 points.
Ball goes over to Beckel and stolen by Schwartz. Schwartz layup, good!
Now, the Glenwood City Hilltoppers come into tonight's game with a conference record of 5 wins and 6 losses. They've been a tough out on their home court, winning 6 and losing only 2. Now, so far this season, the Hilltoppers are averaging 59 points per game and giving up 43, while the Vikings are averaging 56 and allowing 62. These two teams met back on January 16th, where the Vikings won 68-62. Now, so far this season, the Hilltoppers are being led by 6'7 junior Brody Olson, who's shooting nearly 40% from the floor en route to averaging nearly 19 points per game. He's being followed by 5'10" senior Tyler Harrington, who's also shooting nearly 40% from the floor while scoring nearly 11 points per game. On the boards, Olsen is the top rebounder, pulling down over 8 rebounds per game, followed by 6'2" junior Brady Thompson, who's grabbing 6.5 per game. Now, thus far this season, the Vikings are being led in scoring by Aiden Fisher, who's averaging nearly 23 points per game while shooting 45% from the floor. He's followed by Russell Pekowski, who's shooting 44% from the floor, including 43% from three-point range, while scoring over 13 points per game, as well as Orion Nichols, who's shooting 40% from the floor, while adding over 11 points per game. Now, on the boards, the leader for the Vikings remains Pekowski, who's pulling down nearly 10 per game, while Fisher is grabbing over 6. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Nick Height on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN2.
My name's Stacy, I'm 57, and I was adopted in 2020. One teen can come in and make you look at life in a whole different way.
You know, he's my father, so I look up to him a lot. If I can be 10% of the man he is, I'll be a happy person for sure.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, what they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again today, we're talking with Viking boys head coach Nick Height on Coach's Corner. And Coach, today the Vikings will be taking on a Dunn-St. Croix Conference opponent in the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. But before we get to that game, on Thursday, the Vikings took care of business against the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, 54-38. Your thoughts about that game?
I think defensively in the first half has to stick out. Held them scoreless for the last 11 minutes of the half. And kind of went on to a 21-2 run to end that half as well. I think that was our best of closing out and Xing out shooters, helping the helper down low. And then let's give a lot of credit to Theo as well. I mean, holding the leading scorer in the conference at 0 points and a half is pretty nice. It was nice to kind of see. I thought Logan played a really nice game. I thought it was a really nice team win on Thursday, and it was a good feeling to go in there and get one.
Contrary to the way it seemed earlier this season, once again the Vikings found a way to get off to a faster start. And when they do, it almost appears like a sprinter coming out of the blocks. Is this what we should expect to see from here on out?
Well, I would hope so. But every game's different. Every matchup is different. When you're talking about different opponents and things, everyone has different styles and different ways about doing things. So, and Glenwood's, tonight's not going to be a slouch. A team that brought us into overtime here in Colfax. A huge game when you're talking about top 4 in the conference. So I hope we can come out like sprinters tonight and get a nice early lead.
Now, in that game on Thursday, 5 of the Vikings' core 7 players put points on the board, and 4 of those scored in double digits. Can you talk a little bit about how this poses a problem for other teams as to how to cover the Vikings? Because if they shut one player down, there's others to step right up.
Yeah, I've preached that too. When you can have 4 guys scoring double figures, it's really hard to guard. I think we did a nice job of passing the basketball for the most part. After kind of that first 5 minutes or so, I think we kind of handled their 2-3 zone pretty well in the first half. And then, on their press and stuff. Struggled early, but I think then we kind of got the hang of it and took care of the basketball. It was nice to see everyone kind of contribute on the scoring category. And it starts with good screens and making good passes.
And giving up good shots for great shots.
Yeah, I've talked about that a lot.
That's what the players tell me.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
So they're buying into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tonight the Vikings are going to take on the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. That's a team the Vikings did defeat 68-62 back in January. What can you tell us about the Hilltoppers and what might be a little different this time around?
Well, Olsen at 6'5", again, kind of a kid who can play inside, can play outside. I thought Theo did a nice job on him the first game. I think they made some halftime adjustments in game one that kind of gave us some fits. We're going to have to be ready for their buzz defense. I think that was something we struggled with towards the end of the game. So we'll be ready for that. And then, just be ready for their physicality. I watched them play Friday against Elk Mound, and, they were pretty physical, kind of a never give up attitude. So hopefully we can obviously come out tonight victorious in that regards.
A lot of what you said to describe them sounds like the same way somebody might describe the Vikings. This should be a real interesting matchup. But this time around, you're going to be playing at their place. And it appears as though they've become a really tough out when playing in Glenwood City. They've won 7 and lost only 2. What will the Vikings need to do to overcome this trend?
I think rebound the ball, make it hard for Harrington and Olsen on their shots. They're going to be patient. They probably had 3 or 4 possessions in the first half against Elk Mound that took off over a minute of the clock. So I think for us, just valuing the ball, again, passing up good shots for great shots. They don't have a ton of outside threats, so we should be able to help in the post when needed. Other than that, just handle the environment, take care of the basketball, and rebounding. If you can do those 3 things night in and night out, you're going to have some good chances for a win.
Well, Coach Height, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully, the Vikings can keep pushing for that 3rd place spot in the conference.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Rick.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. On Thursday, the Dunn-St. Croix Conference had a complete slate of games. Looking at those results, we found the Colfax Vikings dominating the Elmwood Plum City Wolves 54-38, while the Durand, Arkansas Panthers were defeating the Mondovi Buffaloes 66-48. Meanwhile, the Spring Valley Cardinals topped the Elk Mound Mounders 66-44, and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers upended the Boyceville Bulldogs 64-41. Then on Friday, it was the Elk Mound Mounders bouncing back over the Glenwood City Hilltoppers 62-44. Following last week's actions, the Dunn-St. Croix Conference standings were as follows. On top of the conference is a tie between the Durand, Arkansas Panthers and the Spring Valley Cardinals. Both teams have records of 10-1, while the Elk Mound Mounders, posting an 8-3 record, are in 3rd place and 2 games out of 1st. 4th place sees the Vikings at 6-5 and 4 games back, while the Glenwood City Hilltoppers at 5-6 sit in 5th place. Then in 6th place, we find a tie with the 2-9 Boyceville Bulldogs and the 2-9 Elmwood Plum City Wolves, while 8th place belongs to the 1-10 Mondovi Buffaloes. Now tonight, the Dunn-St. Croix Conference has a full lineup of games. That includes the Vikings traveling to Glenwood City High School to take on the Glenwood City Hilltoppers, while the Elk Mound Mounders will be hosting the Elmwood Plum City Wolves. It will be the Boyceville Bulldogs journeying to Mondovi to face the Buffaloes, and in the battle for the top spot in the conference, the Spring Valley Cardinals will welcome the Durand, Arkansas Panthers. Tonight, the Vikings have the opportunity to keep pressure on gaining that 3rd place finish in the conference. However, the Hilltoppers are right on their heels. Now, the last time these two teams met resulted in a 68-62 victory for the Vikings. In that game, Brody Olson, Brady Thompson, and Tyler Harrington were thorns in the Vikings' side. Keeping those three under control will be the key to a Viking win. So the stage is set for some exciting high school boys basketball with the Colfax Vikings facing the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Now in just a moment, we'll send it out to Glenwood City High School, where our broadcast crew is ready to bring you all the action of today's boys game. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on NLWN2.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Viking boys game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball. It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Colfax Viking boys basketball is on the air.
Takes it to the top of the key, puts up the shot, he hit it! Fisher hits
The Northern Light Webcasting Network, along with NLWN2, is excited to bring you Colfax High School boys basketball.
Around, feeds it underneath Orion Nichols, and he put it up and in.
Yeah, great fight.
Vikings back on top.
Join us as we follow the Vikings while they battle their way through the Dunn-St. Croix Conference.
And they get it to Charbonneau, back to Larson. Three-pointer, he hit it! Trey Larson hit the three.
And now out to the gym for today's Colfax Viking basketball.
Good evening and welcome to Glenwood City for tonight's Dunn-St. Croix matchup between the Colfax Vikings and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. I'm Jay Fall here with Dan Petshaw. Chris Olson is on camera and executive producer Rick Olson also along. Just about ready for the national anthem and starting lineups.
Good evening. On behalf of the school district of Glenwood City and Colfax High School, welcome to tonight's game. Tonight's competition features the Vikings of Colfax and your Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Please turn your attention to Glenwood City Junior Ben Clapp for the reading of the sportsmanship address.
The WIAA, the Dunn-St. Croix Conference, Glenwood City High School, and Colfax High School require good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and fans at education-based interscholastic events. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials. Profanity, racial, sexist, or other comments, or other intimidating or taunting actions, signs of chance will not be tolerated in our grounds for removal from the site of competition. Please enjoy the game in a positive manner.
please rise if you are able and repeat your hymns for the national anthem. Now for tonight's starting lineups. First for the Vikings, under the direction of head coach Nick Croix. A senior number 2, Leo Lumpty. A senior number 4, Aiden Fisher. A junior number 10, Orion Nichols. A junior number 12, Charlie Charbonneau. And a freshman number 30, Russell Polkowski. And now for your Hilltoppers, a senior, number 4, Tyler Harrington. A junior, number 5, Brody Olson. A junior, number 12, Mitchell Main. A junior, number 22, Brady Thompson. And a junior, number 24, Brody Reba. Your Hilltoppers are coached by Patrick Olson, assisted by Michael Garrison, Taylor Duggan, Nathan Hoffman, Holly Olson, Craig Kittle, and Wyatt Thompson. Tonight's officials are Monty Stewart, Eric Thompson, and Tony Worthington.
So all the introductions are done and we are ready to begin here. Colfax Vikings will start out moving left to right. We're sitting behind the scorer's table tonight. They'll move left to right on your screen. They are in red with white numerals and trim, and Glenwood City in white with red and blue numerals and trim. And the ball starts out with the Hilltoppers. Harrington up on top to Olson, and he tries to dish it in the corner, and it is going to stay with the Hilltoppers. Neither of the officials on the other side saw it. The official on the near side said it was tipped over here, so pass goes to Harrington. Harrington fires underneath to Mitchell Main. He's too far under, or that's Main. That was Brady Thompson that got that first pass. Harrington off on the left side to Olson. Olson takes a three-point shot and drains it. Hilltoppers strike first, 3-0. 17:25 to go here in the first half. From Glenwood City, Dunn-St. Croix Conference game, second meeting of these two teams. Hovde fires to Nichols. Nichols from the corner, and it looks like we had a foul away from the ball. That is going to be called on Brady Thompson of the Hilltoppers. First foul of the game. Inbounds throw goes right into Fisher. Shot missed. Rebound pulled down by Olson. Olson will bring it up the floor. He'll drive on Russell, and nice block by Polkowski. So the Hilltoppers toss it into Brody Olson, to Harrington, back to Olson. He'll try the three-pointer, missed. Fighting for the rebound and getting it is Orion Nichols. 3-0 Hilltoppers, 16:45 left in the first half. Hovde fires down to Charbonneau. Fisher flies in, goes up on the right side. Forces up a shot, draws a foul from Brody Olson. So Aiden Fisher going on the line for 2 free throws for the Vikings. First shot rolls around the top and out, no good. Still 3-0, Toppers. That one's good. Colfax is on the board. 3-1, Glenwood City. Brody Olson up the floor. Olson inside. Harrington having trouble handling it. Goes to Brady Thompson. Harrington over to Maine. Back down to Reba. Reba's going to drive in, and nice move on the left side. Puts in a layup, and it's 5-1 Hilltoppers. Hovney and Orion Nichols getting it out of the backcourt for the Vikings. Giving it to Aiden Fisher. Fisher at the free throw line. Tosses it over to Charlie Charbonneau. He takes a three-point attempt, missed, but rebounded by Polkowski. Polkowski tries to get it into Charbonneau. It's picked off by Harrington of the Hilltoppers. Brody Olson across the center jump circle now. 5-1 Glenwood City. Polkowski helps him mishandle that, and the Vikings get it back. Orion Nichols throws it in to Hovney. Hovney fires to Polkowski, over to Fisher. Fisher at the free throw line. Caught. He's going to go up off the window, around and down. 5-3 Glenwood City. Colfax closing in as we have 15:20 remaining in the first half. Brody Olson into Brady Thompson. Down in the corner to Olson, and he mishandles it out of bounds. Vikings get it back. Nichols throws it into Hovney. A little pressure by the Hilltoppers. They back it off now across the timeline. That's Hovney, flips it to Fisher. Fisher drives in, off the glass. Good! Colfax ties it up on an Aiden Fisher layup. 5-all, 14:53 remaining. Driving in, Olson. Olson having trouble getting it down there to Thompson. Down out to Reba in the corner. Reba drives, goes to the right. Tosses it to Maine. Now from the free throw line, it's Brody Reba with a bucket. And Glenwood City leads 7-5. 14:22 left. First half. Hovney out to, and rebound. Hovney gets it back off Polkowski's three-point attempt. Now back down on the right baseline. Charbonneau goes up, rolls off. Hovney gets over in the corner to pick up that loose ball. Back-to-back rebounds by Hovney. Loops around and around. Polkowski, give and go. And the toss will go down to Charbonneau. Charbonneau waits, goes up, and he's called for a travel. 13:49 to go, first half. Glenwood City 7, Colfax 5. Olson. Far side, tosses it in the corner to Thompson. Back over to Mitchell Maine, down in the opposite corner to Reba. Reba takes a shot for three and makes it. 10-5 Hilltoppers. Hovney. Scoop pass to the right to Polkowski. Polkowski, little trouble handling it. He'll fire it in to Schwartz. Schwartz on the give and go to Fisher. Fisher hammers it in on the left side. Colfax trailing by 3, 10-7 Glenwood City. We're approaching 13 minutes left in the first half. Olson. Down to Thompson. Back up to Ben Klatt now in the game. Off to Reba from the top. Olson driving in, right side. Shot missed, gets his own rebound. tries to reload, and Russell Polkowski must have got his arm on Olsen's arm. Nope, that's going to be on Orion Nichols. Olsen makes free throw number 1. Now checking in Clayton Hoffman for the Hilltoppers. He's a 6'4" junior forward. Olsen handed the ball, and he puts it up and in. 12-7, Glenwood City by 5 over Colfax. Hovde, give and go to Fisher. Fisher bounces it back to Hovde. Hovde will bring it around to Schwartz. Schwartz to Nichols. Nichols driving in from the lane, just short, rebounded by Ben Klatt. Brody Olsen bringing it up for the Hilltoppers. He'll fire it to Harrington. Back to Olsen. He'll look at one and keep dribbling. Head toward the baseline with Schwartz on him. Hoffman back over to Olsen. Brody Olsen. And driving in for the bucket, Ben Klatt. And it's 14-7 Glenwood City. Down in the corner, Fisher, 3. Gap closed to 4. Glenwood City still up on Colfax. Olsen bounces it into Klatt. And we had a big traffic jam underneath the hoop there, and that is going to go against Colfax. That's charged to Orion Nichols. That's his second as well as the team's second, and Orion getting an explanation on that. As free throw number 1 goes up and in for Ben Klatt. Brady Thompson checking back in for the Hilltoppers. Shot goes up and in. 16-10, Glenwood City leading Colfax. Hovde fires to Fisher. They're going to say he carried the ball. 11:16 to go in the first. A 6-point lead for Glenwood City. Join us Thursday on NLWN TV. We bring you the Colfax High School girls in basketball action. The ladies will take on the Durand, Arkansas Panthers in their final Dunn-St. Croix game of the season. Coverage begins at 6:40 with Viking pregame, followed by live play-by-play on NLWN TV. Thompson flips it into Ben Klatt. Klatt's going to go up. Shot missed. Rebound by Aiden Fisher. Hovde across the center jump circle. Flips it over to Charbonneau. Charbonneu's going to drive the lane. Go up on the left side. Good! 16-12. Glenwood City leads Colfax by 4 as we approach 10.5 minutes left. First half. Olsen into Reba, back to Olsen. He's on a baseline, fires it out to Klatt. Klatt open with a 10-footer, missed, and Logan Schwartz with a rebound for Colfax. Quickly up the floor it goes to Fisher from Hovde. Fisher goes up over the top, no good, rebounded by Brady Thompson. Olsen out of the backcourt with it now. Olsen driving the right side or dribbling it along the right side. Back out to Harrington. Harrington drives in, pops it up from 12. Shot short. There for the rebound, Logan Schwartz. Hovde Up the floor, goes around to Schwartz, screen out in the corner to Polkowski. Three-pointer rolls off. Schwartz tries to save it from going out of bounds and just can't get there quite in time. Teetering on the end line, going back to Glenwood City. Friday night, Colfax boys in action. They're traveling to Mondovi to take on the Buffaloes in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference makeup game. We'll have that one right here for you on NLWN 2. Starting at 6:40 with Viking pregame. Live play-by-play follows. Oh, and ball stolen away by Charbonneau. And Hovde brings it up to help set things up for Colfax. To Fisher on the near side, fires it in. Russell Polkowski didn't get there. Now he's scurrying for the ball. Ball loose on the floor, flipped, and gets to Mitchell Main. Main down the floor to Brody Olson. Olson goes in with a clear shot to the basket. 18-12, Glenwood City. Hovde. Out to Fisher. Fisher, three. Vikings pull to within three. Glenwood City 18-15, 8:25 left first half. Brody Olson. Bounce passes it in the middle to Thompson. Back to Olson. Top of the key. Missed. Rebounded by Fisher. Rebound stolen away. And then Fisher's going to be called for a foul trying to get it back. And let's see. That's the third foul for Colfax. And we have a timeout on the floor for the Hilltoppers. 8:14 to go. First half. Glenwood City 18, Colfax 15. You're watching Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN 2.
January is Financial Wellness Month. Weight loss and physical fitness are common New Year's resolutions, but your finances could probably stand to be leaner as well. Dairy State Bank will post tips all month on Facebook and Twitter to help you get your finances in shape. You can also access a library of information anytime in our online education center. Visit DairyStateBank.com and click on the Education Center under the Resources tab. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Parent-teacher conferences will continue on Thursday from 5:45 through 7:15 at the Colfax schools. You are a vital part of your child's education, so be sure to participate in these parent-teacher conferences. 8:14 to go first half. It's Glenwood City 18, Colfax 15. Toppers with a ball underneath their own basket. Mitch Main to throw it in. Goes way out on top with a throw to Brody Reba. Reba guarded by Charbonneau. Come across to the opposite side, back to Main. He's guarded by Fisher. Back out to Caleb Klinger now in for the Hilltoppers. Brody Olson getting the ball. And they get it back out on top to Thompson. Ball stolen away, mishandled, and picked up by Theo Hovde. Hovde loops around, fires it in to Charbonneau. Charbonneau out to Hovde. Hovde's going to drive in over to Schwartz. Schwartz goes up and puts it in while he is fouled. Nice move and shot by Logan Schwartz. He's going to try to make a three-point play here, and that would tie up tonight's game. It's 18-17, Glenwood City. Charlie Charbonneau comes out to take a rest. Tyler Harrington going in for Caleb Klinger for Glenwood City. Schwartz, free throw, bounces out, no good. Brody Olson with the rebound. Colfax still trailing by one. Olson. Down to Main. Main drives the baseline, back out to Olson. Olson for three, catches the back iron. Nice rebound by Trey Larson. And he's fouled from behind as he goes to get that. That's going against Mitchell Main. That is his first and the fourth foul of the first half for Glenwood City. Hubdy across the timeline. Around a screen set by Schwartz. Still with the ball, comes out of the corner. Comes back near Fisher. Hubdy driving in, fires it into Schwartz. Schwartz reverse layup is good. Colfax takes their first lead at 19-18. Olsen to Mitchell Main. Thompson drives the left side of the lane. Gets by Schwartz. Schwartz with a great block. Picked up by Trey Larson. And Aiden Fisher driving in around the corner, and he is fouled on the way in by Brady Thompson. So that is Thompson's second foul and the fifth foul of the first half for the Hilltoppers. Bounced into Polkowski, out to Hubdy, to Larson. Polkowski, three-pointer, rolls out, no good. Rebounded by the Hilltoppers. Ben Klatt. Olsen fires down underneath to Brody Reba. And it looks like one of the Vikings touched it while he was on the end line. That was Hubdy. In it goes to Brody Olsen. Olsen trying to go up, and he was boxed in very well, traveled. Okay, looks like we have the subs situated here now. And Hubdy will bring it up out of the backcourt. Hubdy out to Larson. Larson for three. Swish! 22-18 Vikings. 5:43 to go. First half. Reba down to Thompson. And we're going to have a foul. That is going to be called on Polkowski. That's Russell's fourth foul of the first half for Colfax. Inbounds pass into Harrington. His shot missed. Hubdy right there to pick up the rebound. Hubdy to Fisher. Fisher pulls up three-pointer. Rolls out, no good. Tipped around, and it is going to go off of Schwartz out of bounds. Going back to the Toppers. 5:22 to go, first half. We invite you to stay tuned. Our profile player at Viking Halftime today is Maretu Emsch. And Harrington and Olsen. Going to try to get the ball up the floor. They do. Main. Back into a flying Ben Klatt, back out to Thompson. Thompson looking underneath. Good defense by Colfax. Ball tipped by Polkowski, but it goes back to Main. Then over to Harrington. Main check that. That's Brody Olsen. Looked at a three there. Is going to fire it back to Harrington over to Thompson. Thompson guarded by Fisher. Thompson some ball handling trouble. Gets it out to Main. Colfax defense bottling up things well for the Hilltoppers. Brody Olsen, 4.5 minutes to go, first half. Olsen fires it into Brady Thompson. Pass too hot to handle, goes out of bounds, back to the Vikings. The annual FFA Toy Show will be held on Sunday, February 23rd at Colfax High School. This is an all-day event, so stop by and check out all the agricultural toys. Hovde to Fisher, out to Schwartz, then to Larson. Larson driving the left side, fakes, makes a nice move and puts it in on the left side. He had those big guys under there moving all over the place. Colfax fans traveling well. As you can see, they are over on the far side there from Glenwood City. Their half of the court. Shot goes up and it's blocked and it's picked up by Hovde. Hovde back from Larson. Larson, three-pointer bounces off Schwartz. Fighting for the rebound. It's going back to the Hilltoppers. 3:39 to go in the first half. Colfax 24, Glenwood City 18. JV Vikings won tonight. 50-38 was the final in that one. Brody Reba to Harrington. Thompson outside and was going to throw to somebody. Harrington had his back turned and Maine was moving away, goes out of bounds back to the Vikings. And a full timeout on the floor, 3:23 remaining first half. Colfax 24, Glenwood City 18. You're watching Viking basketball on NLWN 2.
To get your lawn or garden to perform at attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
Welcome back to Glenwood City. As Colfax brings it up the floor off of the timeout. Fisher. Stolen away by Glenwood City, out to Reba. Reba, give and go out on the left side to Maine. And Harrington back over to Brody Reba on the sidelines. Moving to the opposite side now, Maine to Harrington. And that's going to be foul number 3, I think, on Aiden Fisher. Nope, his second. (24-18). A 6-point Colfax lead, 2:40 to go in the first half. Aiden Fisher's going to sit down. Inbounds throw goes into Brody Olson. Olson to Reba. Back over to Olson. Polkowski has him stopped well, has to flip it back to Maine. Now into Harrington. Harrington's going to drive in. Olson, nice block by Schwartz. Hovde picks up the loose ball. Up the floor it goes to Larson. Larson inside for Schwartz. I think they wanted to feed him for a dunk, but Schwartz was wondering, no call? Nice defense by Charbonneau going up. And it is going to be underneath on, I'm going to wait until the number comes over there. 30, that's Russell Polkowski. Inside 2 minutes to go. That is going to put Brody Reba on the free throw line for the Hilltoppers. First throw up and in. Thursday night on NLWN TV, we'll have Colfax High School girls basketball as they take on the Durand, Arkansas Panthers in their final conference game. Second free throw good. Pregame starting at about 6:40 for Viking pregame. Russell Polkowski drains it for three. Colfax up by 7. Brody Olson. Out to Thompson. Top of the key, Reba. Missed. And coming up with that rebound was Hovde. In between two much taller Hilltoppers. Polkowski to Trey Larson. Larson flips it over. Polkowski, 3. Front iron, no. Schwartz trying to get it. Pulled out of there by Olson of the Hilltoppers. Olson fires underneath again. Too hot to handle. Intended it for Tyler Harrington, and that got mighty close to that referee's face. Just saying. 1:07 to go, first half. 27-20. Hovde. To Polkowski. Over to Charbonneau. Charbonneau doubled up on. Out to Trey Larson. Fires to Charbonneau. Charbonneau drives in. And the foul is going to be called, and it's going to be an offensive foul on Trey Larson. That's his first. It's the 7th foul for Colfax, but being that it's an offensive foul, there aren't going to be any free throws. So Glenwood City is going to bring it down inside a minute. Brody Olson. Firing into Brady Reba, and rebound by Hovde. Hovde ends up, and Schwartz ends up helping Brady Thompson get a little closer to the basket. That is the 8th foul for Colfax, and that was in the act of shooting anyway, so Thompson is going to shoot a pair for Glenwood City. First one missed. Boys back in action on Friday night. You can see that here on NLWN 2. Traveling to Mondovi to make up a conference game down there. Second free throw is good. Colfax will bring it up with a half a minute to go. Hovde out to Polkowski. To Charbonneau. Over to Hovde. Has to stretch for it, but does. Hovde over to Trey Larson. Larson going in, waits, goes up, falls short, run over. Going is Brody Olson inside to Glenwood City's Brody Reba. And Colfax wants a timeout with 5.5 seconds to go in the first half. You're watching Colfax Viking basketball on NLWN 2.
Even though it's winter, baseball is just around the corner. And the Northern Light Webcasting Network is excited to bring you Colfax High School baseball, followed by Eau Claire Cavalier baseball. So stick with us all spring and summer long for America's game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Welcome back. Colfax 27, Glenwood City 23, 5.5 seconds remaining in the first half. And one of the Glenwood City Hilltopper substitutes, Caleb Klinger, turned away as Hovde quickly brings it up the floor. He's going to drive the baseline and do a reverse layup, and it's good! Sinks it on the buzzer. And at halftime, well, let's see, and we got an
and one.
And
foul is on
Hovde.
I don't know. Did they ever say who the foul was on?
No. It's white 23, Ben Klatt. 1 free throw since the basket was made. And Theo Hovde finishes off the three-point play off a great reverse layup on the baseline. Our halftime score, the Colfax Vikings lead the Glenwood City Hilltoppers 30-23. We invite you to stay tuned now for our halftime programming. Maratu Emsch is our profile player. You're watching Colfax Viking boys basketball on NLWN 2.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Time now for Viking Halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're talking with Maratu Emsch, who is a senior here at Colfax High School. And Maratu, first of all, I'm really happy that I got the name right. And we know that you play basketball, but what are some other activities you do here at school?
I played golf, and freshman year I played football, did powerlifting last year, that's about it.
Okay, all right. So when did you start playing basketball? What kind of experience have you had?
This is my first time on a team. Last year I played for fun, but it's definitely different. You have a sense of like loyalty and trust between you guys, so that's cool.
Okay, and what's the most important thing that you've learned playing basketball?
Play as a team, don't be selfish.
Okay, and when you're not playing basketball, you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
I ride a horse, I golf, that's about it.
Okay, all right. Rapid fire questions for that. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Cookies.
Which kind?
Chocolate chip.
All right, do you like them with the nuts or without? Okay, all right. Burger, brat, or hot dog?
Brats.
What do you want on that brat?
Just barbecue sauce.
Some barbecue sauce on the brat. Okay, all right.
Favorite.
All right. Favorite color or why?
Red, and I don't really know why. I just like red.
All right, well, there's, you know, sometimes that's the best reason. You just like it. Yeah. All right. If you could have a superpower, what do you think that might be and why?
Have to be flight, so I can fly anywhere I want, do whatever I want, whenever I want.
Now, if you had that ability to fly, of course you have to have a superhero name to go with it. So, what's Maratu's superhero name?
It's going to be Festive Jaro 1245.
Yeah, you guys and your gamer names, but that works. All right. Favorite NBA team?
Bucks.
Favorite collegiate team?
Badgers.
Okay. Now, if you could sit down and pick the brain of anybody in sports history at any time, any team, who would it be and why?
Rory McIlroy.
For that golf game?
Yeah, I need to get locked in for the golf team.
Okay. We're talking with Maratu Emsch and on Viking Profile, and what are your plans for after high school?
Have to become an operator.
Okay, very good. We need those. And how about a shout out to the folks watching?
Mom, you're probably watching. Maybe my sister, I don't know. That's about it.
Okay. When people come to Viking games, what number are you going to be wearing, and where are we going to find you on the floor?
22, and I'll be found right side bench.
Right side bench, okay. All right, so, but he does show up on the floor every now and then, too. We want to thank Marette Emsch for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
You've been tuned to Viking Halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up is second half action of today's Viking game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV.
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy told him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
Welcome back to Glenwood City at halftime. The Colfax Viking boys lead the Glenwood City Hilltoppers by a score of 30-23. Dan, let's take a look at the scoring.
Yeah, here's scores right now for the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. They are led by number 24, Brody Reba. He has 13 points. We have Brody Olson with 7. We have Brady Thompson with 1. And Ben Klatt had 2. For the Vikings, they're led right now by number 4, Aiden Fisher. He has 13 points. We have Theo Hovde with 3. Trey Larson has 5. We got Russell Pukowski with 3. And Logan Schwartz with 4. 30-23, Colfax leads.
So Colfax is in 4th place in the Dunn-St. Croix coming into this game. They're 6-5 in the league, 8-11 overall. The Glenwood City Hilltoppers slightly better overall, 9-8, but 5-6 in the conference, and they are right behind the Colfax Vikings at in 5th place. The Vikings are just a couple of games back from the Elk Mound Mounders, who are in 3rd place. Durand, Arkansas, and Spring Valley, who are facing off tonight, are tied for first. That game got moved to Monday. So that's going to break that tie for first place. Colfax starting with the ball. We're going the other way. Vikings moving right to left as Hovde goes to Fisher, and we're going to have a player control foul called on Fisher, and that is his 4th foul or 3rd foul, first for Colfax here in the second half. Colfax starting out. Well, that's wishful thinking. It'd be nice if you got a new count in the second half, but they have...
I have 3.
Okay. Scoreboard says 1. We'll go with 3.
But Colfax will take 1.
Olson to Harrington. Back out on top to Reba. And Vikings really have stuff bottled up. They will, the Hilltoppers not finding a seam to go inside with. Olson out to Reba, and Reba called for a double dribble, as we'll say the Colfax bench reminded the officials of that. We'll put it that way.
Scoreboard changed Aiden Fisher.
Oh, now look at that. No fouls. Shot going up for Nichols. Doesn't go. Outside 3. Good for Charlie Charbonneau. 33-23. Colfax by 10 inside 16 and a half minutes. Down the near side, inside, Reba in the corner. Inside to Olson. Olson, a player control foul on him, running down Russell Polkowski. And Ben Klatt's coming into the game to spell Brody Reba. 16-12 to go. Second half, Colfax leading by 10. Out on the far side, Nichols to Polkowski. Out to Fisher. Makes a move in the lane. Shot blocked. And Fisher not getting up. And we have a foul called underneath. Foul is going to be charged to Charlie Charbonneau, and Aiden Fisher is not getting up. Yep. That's Aiden Fisher. While they're tending to him, we will take a break. 15:45 remaining. Second half, Colfax 33, Glenwood City 23. You're watching Viking basketball on NLWN2.
C&K Construction is your source for high-quality concrete and construction work in the Chippewa Valley. Established in 2014, C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls is a leading concrete contractor proud to serve Eau Claire, Altoona, Menominee, and surrounding areas. Specializing in concrete construction, excavating, flatwork poured walls, and much more, they're right for all of your concrete needs. Call C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls at 715-559-1335.
Okay, Aiden Fisher returned to the bench. Take a little break. Mitchell Main's going to throw it in for the Hilltoppers. Gets it into Brody Olson. There's a foul charge to Charlie Charbonneau. Ball tapped around. Gets back to Olson from the corner. Olson guarded by Polkowski, in there to steal it away. Charbonneau layup, good! 35-23, Colfax by 12. Brody Olson fires it off to Thompson. Thompson looks underneath, goes to Klatt at the free throw line. He'll dribble it once, goes back to Thompson. Thompson on the baseline goes up, and he traveled. Nice position by Charlie Charbonneau. Had his arm right in front of the ball. And now Patrick Olson talking to the officials. Charbonneau, three, bounces out into the corner, grabbing it, Polkowski. Charbonneau going to go out to Hovde. Hovde going to loop in, layup good. Puts in a layup and is fouled by Tyler Harrington of the Hilltoppers. So now Theo Hovde with a chance for a three-point play. Colfax a 14-point lead, 37-23. Okay, and we will have substitutions for Glenwood City. It's Caleb Klinger. And the three-point play complete by Theo Hovde. Brody Olson with the ball for the Hilltoppers. Goes up off the glass. Too hard rebounded Logan Schwartz. Up the floor it goes to Polkowski. Polkowski makes a move off the glass. And now a technical foul is going to be called on Brody Olson. And so Russell Polkowski is going to go to the free throw line for two. Olson also tried to defend that shot, ending up knocking Polkowski to the floor. First free throw good, and must have said something on the way down. Yeah. Second one, Polkowski, good. Colfax gets the ball back on the technical foul as well. That's also Brody Olson's fourth foul. Hovde across the timeline. Hovde fires in the corner to Charbonneau, out to Polkowski. And it is back up on top to Charbonneau. Charbonneau outside, Nichols, three-pointer missed. Reload good by Russell Polkowski. 42-23 Vikings. Reba. Ball gets loose. Picked off by Schwartz. Up the floor it goes to Nichols. Nichols driving up, missed. Nichols getting his own rebound, but it gets loose and goes to Ben Klatt of Glenwood City instead. 8:47 to go in the second half. Elk Mound leads Elmwood Plum City 56-35 in another Dunn-St. Croix game being played tonight. Maine out to Thompson. Thompson goes up, and we're going to have a foul charge to Logan Schwartz. Nope, that's going to go against Russell Polkowski. That's Russell's third foul. That will send Brady Thompson to the line for 2 free throws. Join us Friday night, Colfax High School girls, or Thursday night on NLW TV will be the girls hosting Glenwood or Durand, Arkansas. Details. Let's start again. Thursday night, Colfax girls host Durand, Arkansas. Final Dunn-St. Croix Conference game of the season. Viking pregame starts at 6:40. Play-by-play follows. There we go. There's a game on Friday, and we'll tell you about that in a bit. And it looks like we had some sort of a lane violation. And they're talking to Orion Nichols, so they're going to try another free throw here for Brady Thompson. That one missed, and it goes out of bounds off Orion Nichols. Glenwood City to throw it in underneath their own basket. Mitchell Maine to do the honors. Maine gets it out top to Reba. Reba trying to make a move, and Orion Nichols again. This time called for a reaching in foul. No. Oh, okay, that is third foul. And see the number come over to the table. Oh, Brody Reba gets that pass and tosses it back in. Colfax picks it up. Trey Larson out to Aiden Fisher in. He has an open lane to the basket. They take a poke at him, and he's going to go to the free throw line for 2. That foul is going to be charged to Ben Klatt. That's his second. Aiden Fisher with a pair of free throws. First one, good. The Friday game I was trying to spit out was the boys. They're back in action at Mondovi. That's a conference game to be made up from earlier. Second one goes in, and that one will start 6:40 with Viking pregame. Play-by-play action follows on NLWN 2. Driving in, Caleb Klinger. Passes it to Thompson, back out on top to Reba. Reba driving in. Facing Schwartz, tosses it out to Maine. Hovde guarding him, out to Reba. Reba puts up a shot and in from about 8 feet out. 44-25. Colfax still leading. We're approaching 12 minutes left. Up on top, Fisher. Fisher open, a layup missed. Ends up against the wall again down there. Gets up this time on his own. Reba over to Thompson. Thompson puts it up toward the hoop, and he draws a foul from Logan Schwartz. That's going to send Brady Thompson to the line for 2. That's the second foul on Schwartz. First one, missed. The Friday night boys game is a regularly scheduled one. That's the game at Mondovi. And the second one, good. 44-26. Colfax leading Glenwood City. Hovde to Larson. And we have a foul called on Brady Thompson. Away from the ball. Each team has 5 fouls here in the second half. That's the 3rd foul of the half for Thompson. Trey Larson's going to throw it in. Larson into Hovde. Hovde into Polkowski at the free throw line, out to Larson. Larson for 3, missed. Pushing it back in is Logan Schwartz. 20-point Colfax lead, 11:20 to go in the second half. Maine over to Klatt in the corner. Klatt comes out with it. Back to Maine. Maine, 3-pointer. Swish. And a timeout called by Glenwood City, 11:03. So go in the second half. It's Colfax 46, Glenwood City 29. You're watching Viking boys basketball on NLWN 2.
Menominee Eye and Optical can help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract or LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eyewear for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality personalized care for you and your family.
January is Financial Wellness Month. Weight loss and physical fitness are common New Year's resolutions, but your finances could probably stand to be leaner as well. Dairy State Bank will post tips all month on Facebook and Twitter to help you get your finances in shape. You can also access a library of information anytime in our online education center. Visit DairyStateBank.com and click on the Education Center under the Resources tab. Dairy State Bank, banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Colfax 46, Glenwood City 29. We have 11:03 to go in the second half. Hovde gets the inbounds throw from Trey Larson. Back to Trey, up on top to Polkowski. He's going to drive in, make a move, puts it up and in. 48-29, Colfax. Brody Reba driving the left side, flips it off to Mitchell Maine. Maine looking, comes out to the near side to Thompson. Trying to get a pass inside. Hovde right there to steal it for Colfax. Hovde to Schwartz. Out to Fisher. Fisher driving up and in. Fisher now down to the floor and paint again. Now they're going to help him out. And he's going to shoot a free throw this time, favoring his elbow. Fisher's getting crunched in there tonight.
He's going to need a massage. He's going to need a sauna after this game.
Hot tub, ice bath, the whole thing. Yeah, that was on the list.
A fan and grapes.
And he finishes off the three-point play.
He has 18 points so far tonight.
Well, that's a great effort. That's like nearing a hat trick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brody Reba out to Klatt. Klatt to Mitchell Maine. Maine, guarded closely by Nichols, gets it over to Klinger, and it is picked off by Larson. Hovde will bring it out of the backcourt. Fire to Trey Larson. Bounce it in to Polkowski. Puts up the jumper for two. 53-29.
11 points for us.
Colfax leading Glenwood City. Reba to Klatt. Back to Reba up on top. Maine out to Klinger. Out to Klatt. Shot missed. Rebounded to Ryan Nichols. Hovde to bring it up the floor. Bounced into Schwartz. Schwartz turned around and off the glass for two. 55-29, Colfax.
Schwartz with 8 points tonight.
Reba in between the circles. Out in the corner it goes to Klinger. Klinger air ball right into the hands of Logan Schwartz. Hovde to Larson. Three-pointer missed. Rebounded Mitchell Main. Out to Brody Reba. Down in the corner to Thompson to Klatt. Out to Main to Thompson. Inside Reba for a basket for the Hilltoppers. First points for them in a while. It's 55-31 Colfax.
17 for Reba.
We approach 8 minutes to go. Driving in, Russ Polkowski. Reverse layup good. (16-point or 26-point) Colfax lead. Reba out to Klinger, who puts in a nice shot from the sidelines for three. 57-34, 7.5 minutes to go. Trey Larson up high. Larson to Schwartz in the corner. Schwartz in Polkowski. Polkowski goes up, and he's fouled on the way in. He's going to shoot two. Parent-teacher conferences continue on Thursday, 5:45 through 7:15 at Colfax schools. You're a vital part of your child's education, so be sure to participate in these parent-teacher conferences. Russell Polkowski, 2 free throws, first one in. Colfax leads by 24. And Aiden Fisher's got an ice bag on the sideline, so he might be taking the rest of the night here. Second one goes in as well. It's 59-34. Pass fired to corner to Klinger. Up to Harrington. Back inside, putting in a layup that bounces in. Brady Thompson for Glenwood City. 59-36, inside 7 minutes to go in the game. Pass goes out to Nichols. Nichols, left side, makes a move, and moved too much. Traveling called, Glenwood City taking it back. Reba for Glenwood City. Reba give and go out to Harrington, and then to Klinger. Klinger trying to get it in. Trey Larson knocked that pass down, still staying with the Toppers. Down in the near corner goes to Harrington. Then Reba from the corner for three. Rebounded Trey Larson. Theo Hovde crossing the center jump circle. Fires it to Larson. Larson to Schwartz. Schwartz to Polkowski. Out to Nichols. Nichols looks at a three. Goes in the corner to Larson. To Nichols. Out to Polkowski. Polkowski driving in. Up. Good. 61-36 Colfax. 5:43 left to go in the game. Reba. In the corner to Thompson. Out to Klinger. Klinger inside to Harrington. Harrington to Reba. Rebounded. Hovde. He is all over the floor on defense. And offense for that matter. Larson. Larson around a screen by Hovde. Back to Hovde. To Nichols. Nichols puts it in from outside the arch for 3. 5 minutes, inside 5 minutes. Remaining. Colfax 64, Glenwood City 36. Out to Harrington. Down to Clayton Hoffman now in the game. He's a 6'4 junior forward. Hoffman to Reba. To Klinger. Harrington fed an outlet pass, puts in a baseline layup on the right, and Glenwood City wants a 30-second timeout. 4:29 to go. Second half, Colfax 64, Glenwood City 38. You're watching Viking Boys Basketball on NLWN 2.
NLWN TV is once again excited to be your host for Colfax High School Girls Basketball throughout the 2024 through 2025 season. Our next Viking girls game will be on Thursday, February 20th, when the Vikings travel to Durand High School to take on the Durand, Arkansas Panthers. Coverage begins with Viking pregame at 6:40 p.m. with live play-by-play to follow. That's live Colfax Viking girls basketball on Thursday, February 20th on NLWN TV.
Welcome back. 64-38. 4:29 to go in the second half. Annual FFA Toy Show will be held on Sunday, February 23rd at Colfax High School, an all-day event. Stop by and check out the agricultural toys. Polkowski down in the corner. Nichols, 3, rolls out. Hubney with a rebound. Out to Trey Larson. And Larson somebody got a push under there. That's going to be on Clayton Hoffman. That is the 8th foul for the Hilltoppers, so Trey Larson's going to the free throw line. Russell Polkowski knocks the ball to Logan Schwartz. Colfax getting it back on the Glenwood City missed shot. Trey Larson. Larson to Hovde. Larson going to drive in, guarded closely by Harrington. Out to Polkowski. Polkowski's going to go up. Miss. Schwartz trying to put it back up. And coming up with a loose ball, Ben Klatt. 3:20 left. 64-38 Colfax. Klatt. Out to Thompson. Caleb Klinger. Harrington. Back down in the corner, Klatt. Down inside, Harrington up and off the glass for the bucket. 64-40, Colfax a 24-point lead, 2:40 left in tonight's game. Hovde going to take it to the hole himself, shot just falls short. And down in the corner goes to Mitchell Main, and he hammers down a three-pointer, bangs around the sides and goes in. A lot of Colfax Vikings have dusted the floor off underneath that basket to our left. And Larson shot short, rebounded by Hoffman. Back to Harrington from Klinger. Harrington's going to go flying in, try to get around Hovde. That's not going to work. Goes to Klatt. Klatt driving in, going to try to go up on Schwartz while Hovde tries to steal the ball away. And that shot missed. Hovde steps in the way of that one. On the shot from Tyler Harrington, 1:40 left. Polkowski to Schwartz. to Polkowski from Hovde. Back over to Charlie Charbonneau. And the Vikings getting ready to put some reserves in. Timeout for subs, and both teams are going to have the... Okay, so Glenwood City will take the timeout. 1:13 to go in the ball game, 64-43. Colfax leading Glenwood City. So upcoming action for the Colfax Viking basketball teams. Thursday night, girls taking on Durand Arkansas Panthers. It's the final conference game of the season. Coverage, Friday then, the boys will travel to Mondovi. Regularly scheduled Dunn-St. Croix conference matchup. Coverage on both of those starts with Viking pregame at 6:40, followed by live play-by-play. Thursday, the girls are on NLWN TV. Friday, the boys are here on NLWN 2. Levi Elwood's going to throw it in. Finds Nate Edwards in the corner, out to Retu Emsch. Emsch out to Edwards. Edwards then to Ensminger. Ensminger fires it into Elwood. Back out on top to Ensminger. To Elwood. Three-point shot. Roberts bounces out big, trying to get the rebound. Ends up in the hands of Ben Cladd instead. To Brody Reba, 38 seconds left. Three-point shot. Harrington missed. Rebounded Levi Elwood. Ensminger up the floor with it for the Vikings. Ensminger to Edwards. Down in the corner it goes to Roberts. Three-point shot missed. Rebound Elwood. Elwood trying to go back up. Ball knocked down, taken by Mitchell Main. Main to Brady Thompson with a layup for Glenwood City. 5 seconds to go, and the Vikings are not going to be in any big hurry to get the ball to the other end. And the Colfax Vikings defeat the Glenwood City Hilltoppers by a score of 64-45. So that improves Colfax's conference record to 7 wins and 5 losses, and they are 9 wins and 11 losses on the season. Glenwood City falls to 5-7 in the league, and they are 9-9 on the season. We invite you to stay tuned for post-game coverage tonight. You're watching Colfax Viking boys basketball on NLWN 2.
You need some help?
Your toe chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
You have been tuned to Colfax Viking boys basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. This copyrighted production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and Colfax High School is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction in part or in whole in any form without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network, LLC, and Colfax High School is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Postgame with a look back at today's game.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
to learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Time now for Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking boys game. And now, Viking Postgame.
Colfax Viking boys improved to 7-5 in the Dunn-St. Croix Conference. They are 9-11 on the season, 64-45 win over the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. It was 30-23 at the half, and Colfax outscored Glenwood City 34-22 in the second half. JV Vikings won tonight 50-38 as well. Dan, let's take a look at the scoring.
Yeah, here's the scores tonight for the Hilltoppers. Tyler Harrington had 4, Brody Olson had 7. We had Mitchell Main with 6, Caleb Klinger had 3, Brady Thompson had 6, and Brody Reba had 17. And we'll do the Colfax one later.
Okay. Nick Height joins us, head coach of the Colfax Vikings. And Nick, a slower start, one of those things that you were trying to work on throughout the season.
Yep.
But once you got going, things clicked well on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
What changed?
Yeah, I think just not forcing it as much. I thought we moved the ball around pretty nice. Obviously they got into some foul trouble as well. I thought that was a great team win. That was a lot of fun to finally maybe not be as stressed out towards the end of the game. So, defensively, I thought we did a heck of a job. I mean, it was 18-12 at one point, and then I looked up and it was 18-28. So, a lot of really good runs. I thought Russell really guarded his tail off tonight on Olson, made him very frustrated. I think he probably had 8 turnovers or so, on a guy who leads the league in assists. So.
Yeah, it was a balanced effort. I mean, tough defense. There was a lot of time, once you got that clicking, that Glenwood City had a hard time getting it inside and getting it into the basket from anywhere.
Yeah, our length is going to give some teams issues, and then our guards have some speed to guard. I told our guys in there, if we play like this, I don't want to play us in 2 weeks. So it's fun seeing us down the stretch and watching us grow. I think this has been Russell. Yesterday I thought he had his best practice. I thought him getting to the rim tonight was if he starts doing that, it's going to be really hard to guard. Logan played well. Charlie, I think, contributed. Theo contributed on the offensive side. Just a balanced, great team effort.
Yeah, and, on the defense, everybody's scrambling, and I mean, even though you might not have a height advantage at every position, I mean, their guys there scrapping and coming up with that ball and steals.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it stems back to EPC first half of that game. That has to be the standard, and we've talked about that. But, boy, coming into this, I would not have expected the outcome to be what it was. So that's always a great feeling, and then back at it tomorrow to get ready for Mondovi Friday.
And what do you expect? That'll be the second matchup with them on the road.
Yeah, we saw them early last week. So I just think we just need to do a better job of taking care of the basketball against them. And then obviously they're going to just pack it in the paint. So our driving ability is going to be limited a little bit. We just have to handle that pressure, and hopefully we can come out with a win.
Nick, it was a fun one tonight.
Yeah, it was.
Congratulations. We'll see you later in the week. Nick Height, head coach of the Colfax Vikings, on their 64-45 win. Continuing scoring details.
Here's the scores for the Vikings tonight. They're led by number 4, Aiden Fisher. He ended up with 18 points. Theo Hovde had 6. Trey Larson had 5. We had Ryan Nichols with 3. Charlie Charbonneau had 7. We had Russell Polkowski with 17. And we had Logan Schwartz with 8. Colfax comes out with the win.
JV did too, 50-38. Just as we were talking with Nick Height, just a great team effort, balanced on both sides of the floor. And
yeah, that's why I thought it was a great effort by both ends, and their bench is getting longer. We got 8 boys who had significant points tonight for this team, and they're good on the glass, and the bigs are just getting stronger day by day.
This is going to be a fun wrap-up of the season here. And we hope that you'll finish out watching with us the boys Friday at Mondovi, as we mentioned. And the girls Thursday night taking on Durand, Arkansas. That a conference game as well. Coverage on both begins with Viking pregame at 6:40, followed by live play-by-play. The girls on NLWN TV and the boys on NLWN2. Tonight's Colfax High School basketball game is brought to you by Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for western Wisconsin. Anderson Bridges, who have been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Menominee Eye and Optical with quality personalized care for you and your family. C&K Construction, concrete experts for the Chippewa Valley. And Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors by doing some business with them soon. They bring you Colfax Viking basketball. So for our videographer, Chris Olson, executive producer, Rick Olson, and Dan Petshaw, I'm Jay Fall. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight. Good night and stay warm.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking boys game. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.